Okay, so do we actually break bad spending habits or do we do something else? Let's talk about it. Back in a minute. Money Mortgage and channel. There are some technical glitches that occur within this thing that has nothing to do with yours truly. I'm just saying thank you so much for understanding. I really do appreciate it. Let's talk about breaking bad spending habits. So here's the real question. Do we actually break bad spending habits? Truth be told, the most effective thing to do is to replace a bad habit, no matter what the habit is, with something better. We really don't break bad spending habits. Can you think of something that you do in the course of a day that could be considered wasteful spending, in your honest opinion? Be honest with yourself. Sometimes it pays to sit down, have a hot cup of tea or coffee when it's nice and quiet, put on some, calming music in the background. I mean it. And analyze ways and ways of which you can really audit your own self, if you will, to save money, to keep some more money, or to put it somewhere else to achieve another goal. You see where I'm going with this. But we do not actually break habits. We replace habits. Now, this is not according to Jan. This is according to experts in the field. And one of them happens to be someone I highly respect, Dr. Phil McGraw. I mean, I'm not the only one that highly respects Dr. Phil, right? I'm sure you've heard of the name over the years. And he has said many, many times people do not break habits, but we, rather than that, replace habits. I allude back to a video that I saw on an entirely different platform about a year and a half back. And it showed this younger person, probably, I would say that person was in their 30s. I'm just trying to give you background of the person. It was a woman, young lady, and she was freaking out about having to cut back on certain things. I mean, absolutely having a meltdown because her budget was just like really like, tough budget. But one of the things that this person was freaking out about was the idea of giving up going to one of those fancy schmancy $6, $7 a cup of coffee places. What? I said to myself, what? But I have to remember, that person, is younger and, has a different lifestyle, whatever. And maybe in that person's case, that's that person's only place of solace. Maybe she has, situations in her lifestyle that she needs that little corner of her life to just chill out. I get that. So it's like a delicate balancing act. So maybe there's somewhere else, some other area of concern where she's spending money like that doesn't have to be spent. And she might consider, if she prefers, still keeping that $6 or $7 oasis for her, because the level of the way she reacted was just like stunning, absolutely stunning to me. Okay. But then again, that's from my point of view, and I'm trying to be very open minded about it. And who's to say that cutting down isn't helpful? I say this: trying is succeeding. So sometimes people have this like all or nothing approach. But I do absolutely agree with Dr. Phil that we don't break habits, we replace them. For example, let's suppose that person maybe considered all in all that it was really important to make some changes. And it might have included, instead of going every single day to that oasis place of coffee for the $6 or $7, and goodness knows what it could be right now. I really don't know. I don't buy that kind of stuff. So that's not something that I do. But everybody's different. Everybody's life is different. I'm totally happy with my still remaining at 25 cent cup of Joe. But I think in that person's case, I'm taking this by case individual thing. I think in the case of that individual, for example, I do believe that that person was probably really looking more for the experience. Now, there are some people that'll just grab that $7 cup of coffee and go to work. And listen, let's start one thing very, very clear. If a person is in the financial position to pay for these things, live your life, everything done, investing, saving, the whole 9 yards, comfortable place, great. Kudos. My area of concern are for the people that are confused and say, and they're really living paycheck to paycheck and struggling to pay bills, credit card debt over buying things like this. There are some people who actually have fallen into the rabbit hole of credit card debt, not even realizing it. See, that's the thing too. A lot of times people do things inadvertently because after all, we are human and sometimes we're just creatures of habit. We're not always, a walking encyclopedia of knowledge or paying attention. And honestly, and then of course there's some people just simply like the status symbols. I mean, which to me is silly. That's me, but I sit here proudly with my 25-cent cup of Joe. And by the way, as I'm recording this, because as you know, I recorded a week earlier, it is freaking cold. It is freaking cold. But always remember, it's easier to warm yourself up sometimes than your dwelling place. So this is not just like cold, this is like dangerously cold, like no joke cold. So as soon as I get off of this recording, I'm definitely going to add an extra sweater to me. And it's also a great day to put up a pot of something hot, like a nice pot of soup. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And maybe bake something. Yeah, yeah. And add it to my freezer stockpile. It's not a waste. It always works out, but that's another show. That's another show. But seriously, honestly, really. So we do not break habits, we replace them. So let's go back to that lady. And I didn't mean to go off topic. By the way, before I forget, because this is really, really important, don't forget to do this. That's if it works. And if it doesn't work, I'm used to it. Thank you so much for your patience with this. You always know the video is still working when you see the banner is still moving. If you're ever in doubt if the video is working, just notice the banner is still moving below. Sometimes there's like little delays in between these video clips. I don't know why. And I hate when that happens because then I lose my train of thought. Oh, wow. I lost my train of thought on that one. That is not good. That is not good. Hey, Jan, need another cup of Joe. Do you have to spend $8 for it? No. Okay, that's where memory recall. The lady really doesn't have to give up all of it. If she's really in a personal bind, if she doesn't want to give up the lifestyle, then she's going to have to give in to something else, earn some more money. It's just that simple. One cannot always have it all at all times. I mean, I'm talking about the average person, you know what I mean? Like myself, yourself, probably. And we just have to make certain sacrifices. For me, for example, it's more important that I hit monthly savings goals. It's more important for me that I always know that my, bills are paid without, blinking an eyelash or struggling. I much rather forfeit not buying a $7 or $8 cup of coffee. I'm using that as the example. I'm still having coffee, but I'm not buying that coffee. First of all, I'm a frugal person. I don't mind buying a jar of coffee on sale for $3, getting a couple of them for $6. Some people, They're just buying that one cup, and I'm buying for 2 months worth of instant coffee for me. But let's get back to that example. That lady doesn't have to give up her lifestyle completely. And this goes for anyone listening. So let's say you're in a place in your life where you want to break your habits, replace them gradually. Okay. Sometimes some people believe in the, pull the band-aid off theory, like quickly, fast, fast, fast. And sometimes it does work. Not necessarily always. For example, years and years ago, there was a book, and I believe the name of the book was called The Complete Medical Makeover. Okay, I'm not making a dime mentioning this old book. I guess it's out of print by now. It was out, I believe, in the maybe early 80s or something like that. Something like that. I think in the 1980s. And it was called The Complete Medical Makeover. But the theory of the book was this. If you have certain negative habits, if you will, replacing it with a better choice, but doing that thing for 1 week at a time. And I like that idea because I've always been a believer of incremental savings, baby bites. This is my theme normally anyway. So that book did that, which is really fascinating. It's the bird clock. Money habits. But bad money habits, bad spending habits can be replaced. Is it going to happen overnight? Now that's a different situation. Is it going to happen overnight? No. No, sorry. I wish I had that, magic wand where I could say, hey, everybody, let's, get out of debt. Let's get into good habits of everything in life. I wish, but I can't. So we just have to do it the old-fashioned way, but at least try. Trying is succeeding. Sit down, take that quiet moment, if you could get one, make a quiet moment, and just really think. Look back at last month. What can I do better than I did last month? How many great things did I get to do last month? I always want to remind you that don't forget the wins. The small wins in life are very important, but that's for another show. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate everybody's time. But I do really believe this. We should really do what this lady does. If the video clip ever plays. At the way they handle my video clips. There you go. All right, everybody. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Don't forget to take good care of yourself and your wonderful family. Because if you don't take care of yourself, there's no way, no way that you could take care of that wonderful family. Have an amazing, fantastic day.